considering a margin of error and other intangible factors, an acceptable match would receive a score of 95% or higher.
Oh, how romantic. Pick me up at 8 and bring 2 number 2 pencils.
Does it work?
I don't know. I've never gotten anyone to take it before.
Well, no wonder. Someone could pass the bar exam easier than having a date with you.
Well, if he passed the bar exam, he can skip question number 57.
Honey, if he passed the bar exam, you should skip the whole test.
He'd be tall, he'd be handsome, he'd have all his own hair, but not too much, not on his back. I couldn't stand here back there. He'd be well groomed and well dressed, but he wouldn't be obsessed with his appearance. He'd look great without expending too much effort at all.
What did she say?
I think she said that he'd be tall.
He'd be tall.
Is that all?
Tall is good.
He'd be tall.
Don't stop now.
He'd be tall, but that's not all. He'd be nice, he'd be funny, he'd be able to joke. He wouldn't drink too much or yell too much, and he wouldn't croak. He'd be kind to little animals. He wouldn't eat me, and he'd hold my hand whenever we were crossing the street, covered with ice.
What?
It sounded like she said that he'd be nice.
He'd be tall.
He'd be tall.
And he'd be nice.
Nice and tall.
Tall and nice.
He'd be nice.
He'd be tall.
Nice and tall, tall and
Not
nice.
small at all.
Gee, that's nice.
Nice and tall.
Tall and nice.
Tell us more.
He'd be rich, but not famous, so we'd have our privacy. He'd have degrees from the world's finest universities. We'd have a big fancy house, and he'd buy me a Mercedes. And while I go to work, he would stay home with the babies. Wouldn't that be a switch?
Hold on a minute. It sounded like she said that he'd be rich and tall.
And nice.
Rich and tall.
Nice and rich.
Nice, rich, and
Tall,
tall.
nice and rich.
Nice, rich and tall.
He'd be rich and tall and nice.
Rich and tall. Tall and nice. Nice and rich. Nice, rich and tall. Tall, nice